Hi, everyone. Welcome back. I am April from Instill Wellness and Nutrition. And today I'm going to talk about something that I know so many of you are frustrated with. That feeling that your body is changing and you don't quite recognize it anymore. So you're probably eating healthy, maybe even working out more than before, but your weight seems to have shifted. It's frustrating. Your jeans fit differently, your midsection feels softer. Maybe you've noticed some new weight around your hips, your back, your upper arms, and it just feels stuck. So I hear this from women all the time. They say, April, I haven't changed anything, but my body sure has. So today I'm breaking down why that happens, what's really going on underneath the surface, and most importantly, what you can do to support your body through this phase of life. Because this isn't about blame, willpower, or age catching up with you. It's actually about understanding that your body is running a new program and it's doing it for a reason. So, first, let's talk about your body isn't broken, it's adapting. So, first off, your body isn't working against you, it's adapting to a new hormonal environment and it's trying to protect you, even though it doesn't feel like that. So, you want to think of your body in your 20s and 30s like a well tuned high speed car. Everything always responded quickly. You skipped a meal, the scale moved. You worked out a few times, you could see changes right away. But by the time you hit your 40s and 50s, that same car has a few more miles on it. It's still strong, but now it needs different fuel, it needs different maintenance, and it needs more pit stops. So you can't put the same gas in it and expect it to perform the same way. And that's exactly what's happening inside your metabolism right now. The hormones that once worked in harmony to regulate your weight, your mood, energy, and sleep are now fluctuating or declining. So, the three biggest players in this shift are estrogen, progesterone, and cortisol. And behind the scenes, your gut plays the backup drummer, keeping the rhythm until it doesn't. Now, first, let's talk about estrogen, which is the hormone that used to have your back and your hips. In your reproductive years, estrogen helped distribute fat to your hips, thighs, and butt, which was actually nature's way of protecting fertility. But as estrogen begins to fluctuate and decline during perimenopause and menopause, your body starts to lose that protective balance. So instead of storing fat in your lower body, it starts to store it around your abdomen. But here's the wild part, this isn't random. Your body is strategic. It's trying to make up for the loss of estrogen by storing more fat in places that can produce estrogen on their own, like belly fat. So, belly fat releases a weaker form of estrogen called estrone. So, it's almost like your body saying, if my ovaries aren't making enough, I'll create my own backup supply right here. The problem is that type of estrogen doesn't create the same balance as before. It actually ends up contributing to inflammation, insulin resistance, and guess what? More fat storage. So now your body's playing tug of war with itself, trying to help, but also making things harder. And then next up, we have progesterone. Progesterone is your calming, anti anxiety, anti bloat hormone. It helps balance estrogen, it keeps you sleeping, and it supports thyroid function. But of course, stress, poor sleep, and overexercising can lower progesterone. And when progesterone drops, estrogen in turn becomes dominant, even if it's technically low. And that's when you start noticing symptoms like puffiness and fluid retention, PMS that feels stronger than ever. The rage can be real, y'all. Breast tenderness, weight gain around the belly, mood swings, and poor sleep. Now you add cortisol to the mix, the stress hormone that gets released when your body feels overwhelmed. And cortisol tells your body, we're in danger, store energy just in case. And guess what the place is that stores that energy? Right around the midsection, because that's where it can quickly access it if you need it for survival. So when you're constantly on the go, multitasking and running on caffeine and adrenaline, your body's hearing stress even if your mind thinks that you're fine. Cortisol and estrogen imbalances are like two friends that love drama. Once they start arguing, everyone around them suffers, and your metabolism ends up being caught in the middle of that argument. Now, let's talk about my favorite, the gut, because this is where a lot of women miss the connection. Your gut microbiome isn't just about digestion, it actually helps regulate estrogen through something called the estrobolome, which is the collection of gut bacteria that helps process and eliminate excess estrogen. So when your gut is inflamed, sluggish, or imbalanced from stress, antibiotic use, or poor diet, that estrogen can get reabsorbed into your system instead of being eliminated. And that in turn leads to what we call estrogen dominance, even if your actual hormone levels are dropping. And what does that mean? You guessed it. More bloating, more water retention, and more stubborn fat. So think of your gut like a dishwasher. If the drain is clogged, dirty water starts backing up. And that's exactly what happens when your detox pathways slow down and your body ends up storing what it can't eliminate. So now that you know what's going on, how do you work with your body instead of against it? So, here are some practical science based strategies that you can start with. The very first thing that is the most important, that can probably make the biggest impact, is balance your blood sugar. Every time you eat a carb heavy meal without protein or fat, your insulin spikes and that can trigger cortisol. Try to build your plate with protein first, fiber second, and starch last. You want to think of a meal with salmon with roasted veggies or eggs with avocado and greens, meals that kind of keep you steady and give you that energy for hours. The second thing that you can do is prioritize sleep and recovery. So if you're underslept, your cortisol goes up and your leptin, which is your fullness hormone, goes down, which in turn means more cravings and belly fat. So even 30 extra minutes of sleep can shift your stress response. The third thing that you can do is lift weights and walk often. So, strength training helps rebuild lean muscle, which in turn keeps metabolism high. It improves insulin sensitivity and helps your body burn fat even when hormones are fluctuating. And walking, especially after meals, can help lower blood sugar naturally. I call it a digestion walk. It can aid in digestion, but it also can help balance blood sugar naturally. Even something just as simple as just a 5-10 minute walk after meals is all you need. The fourth thing that you can do is support your gut. Hydrate well, eat fiber rich foods, and support digestion with fermented foods if you tolerate them. I want to say if you tolerate them because if there is imbalance in the gut, a lot of people do not tolerate fermented foods. So support your gut with fermented foods and gentle probiotics. And if you're constantly bloated or reacting to foods, that's your gut asking for attention. And of course, testing can be a game changer here. And the last thing that you can do is manage stress like it's a full-time job. Because honestly, in midlife, it's kind of like this. Set boundaries, take breaks, go outside. And remind yourself slowing down isn't being lazy, it's being wise. So when you notice your body changing, the weight redistributing, the shape shifting, the things that used to work not actually working anymore, please don't take this as a failure. Your body isn't betraying you. It's rebalancing in response to the incredible changes that are happening internally. And with the right support, balancing your hormones, healing your gut, managing stress, and giving your metabolism what it needs now, you can absolutely feel strong, confident, and at home in your body again. So if this hit home for you, drop the word balance below or shoot me a message. I help women just like you figure out what their body's trying to tell them so that they can stop fighting symptoms and start feeling like themselves again. Until next time.